Hi, my name is Jamie, and this video is about dreams and my experience I had when I first discovered what my dreams actually meant. And so I left off the previous video about guides and how I discovered that guides are entering our dreams. And I forgot to mention a couple things that someone may think is interesting. What happened is that I had met Michael Sheridan, and he started telling me what my dreams meant. And he told me a number of things that were pretty shocking about myself and about who I am and where I come from, and just really, really phenomenal information. And I didn't believe it at first. It was pretty hard to swallow a bit the information. And so I was able to get lucid at that time quite easily. And I would call upon my guides and ask them if he was right. So I would actually wait. I would call my guides, and like what usually happens is usually 6 or 7 people would sort of materialize in front of me. And I would ask them, is this right, what he's telling me? And they would say, yes, it's right. But it took a while for it to get into my head because I would ask them often. And finally, I remember one time I asked the 6 or 7 people. They were kind of lined up. We were outside and they were lined up against kind of a fence. And I said, okay, I'm going to stay lucid. I'm going to stay, lucid. And I asked them again. And I remember they were like, yes. And then one of them said, stop asking us. Like, come on, lady. How many? They were very funny. They are very funny. The guides that I worked with. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. It just becomes a very dynamic process when you know what your dreams actually mean, and then you can kind of become lucid, and the whole experience of dream work takes on kind of a whole new level. So anyways, this video is more about when I discovered health. Health was very prominent in our dreams. And it's something that I've kind of become quietly passionate about over the years because I just think it's phenomenal, the capabilities that we have. And so my story starts when I had met Michael. He also had shared, he took a few of us and kind of did a mock class of his class that he does to kind of see how an American audience might take it. He's from Ireland. And in the class, he does a great thing where he will share with you what the symbols are, but then he will put your dreams in there with it. And he analyzed one of my dreams. And in the dream, I was with my mom and a number of other people, and there was a long narrative to it. A lot of things taking place, in an old house, kind of going along. But at the end of the dream, the dream ended where I was at a coffee shop, and the coffee shop was using body limbs, like arms and legs and heads, to make the coffee. And it was kind of at the tail end of the dream, sort of just kind of added there. And the body parts were all wrapped in kind of a plastic bag hanging from the ceiling. And so he did this dream and he analyzed the first part, which was very interesting. And then he says, now, do you drink coffee? And I said, of course. And he says, okay, do you drink a lot of it, And I, I don't know. I mean, how do you answer that? But I do drink a lot of coffee. And then he says, well, it's killing you. And what's really the problem actually is because the plastic is around the body parts. Plastic is a man-made substance. And so you're putting something man-made into your coffee that is killing you. And I was shocked. I was shocked because at the time I used those awful Coffee Mate creamers, the hazelnut one specifically, quite regularly. And I would drink coffee throughout the day. So for me, that was my first, wow, I can't believe that was kind of put in there, just a little segment about your health. And it was really, really eye-opening, the capabilities that we have. So flash forward, maybe even like a couple years later, and I'm still going to my dream group, and so is Michael. And I bring a dream to the group that involved me running away from a man who was half alligator, half man. And to get away from him, I jumped into a giant pit of grass clippings. And I brought the dream to group, and group kind of, said this and that. And then Michael said, half man, half alligator. That's a mutation. And I had been studying my dreams using his process for so long, I couldn't believe that I had missed it. A mutation like that, usually when you have a half animal, like kind of mix of two things, has to do with cancer. And so here I was dreaming of cancer, and it made so much sense because green is a healing color. And I jumped into a big pile of green grass clippings. Very, very right on about what was going on. And at the time, I had changed my diet. I was doing more of a paleo diet and kind of a high-fat diet. And I remember I emailed him that night, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm dreaming of cancer." And he said, "It's fine, just keep tabs on your dreams. Sometimes it's a fluke, and these things will come up, and you will dream about things like this years in advance of any issue that actually arises." But sure enough, the next couple weeks, I dreamt about cancer regularly. I remember once I had a dream where worms were coming out of my skin, and I was desperately trying to pull them out. And in the dream, I actually did pull them all out, but I realized in the dream that I was struggling with the process. That means that my immune system is really struggling with dealing with this, whatever I'm doing to my body. And so I went to him and I said, "This has become a pattern. Can you please help me? I need to figure out what's going on." And so we had analyzed the dreams and looked at also my diet. And I had started eating a higher amount of certain types of foods. One was eggs. I ate a lot more eggs, peanut butter, and these kind of chicken sausages, and also bacon. I had started eating bacon. And he actually has the capability to channel, and so he took me to the grocery store, and we went one by one, and he asked his guides which one it was. And he went to the peanut butter, and he actually thought it was going to be the peanut butter. And he said, "Oh, not the peanut butter, it was the bacon." And so I eliminated bacon completely. I do not eat bacon. In fact, I don't eat pork anymore. If I eat pork, I dream of it instantly, it's bad for me. And and so I'm blown away by the capabilities that we have. And Michael is a huge part of it. I think it's important to remember that we all have these capabilities inside of us to analyze our dreams, and I use this to look at my health regularly. At least once a week, I have a dream where I'm doing something, whether it's looking at a particular situation a certain way, or maybe it's something that I did consume, and my dream will alert me to a health issue. One great example was I went out really late one night with a friend of mine in Los Angeles, and we stayed out till at least 2 a.m, and I had a few dark beers and like really fried food. And that night I dreamt about a man sitting in front of a house eating bread, and the house was on fire. And fire has to do with heart issues. And of course, house has to do with your body. And so I told my husband the next morning, how remarkable is that to know, that your dreams are telling you these things all the time. And he said, "It took a dream for you to realize that you shouldn't be doing that late at night." I said, "That's fair." So anyways, that's my video about dreams and health. Again, something that I'm so passionate about, and I will leave, again, the links to all of Michael's work, and he's written a couple of books, and he has a service online where he can analyze dreams, and he teaches classes too. And so I'm just putting this out there to share my experience because it was truly life-changing to learn what my dreams meant. So we've talked about guides, we've talked about health, and stay tuned because I have a few more. All right, thank you so much for listening.